ahead and begin here and let everybody keep moving for the day. Thank you to everyone for coming out. We appreciate the interest in what we're doing here today. I want to welcome everyone and thank or introduce some people here that we have with us today. Mayor Greg White, he is on the land bank, and the mayor of Paulding. Mr. Holtzberry, commissioner and on the county land bank. Luann Wanamaker is here representing the Paulding County Land Bank and is our county treasurer. Christina Deere is with the Maumee Valley Planning, and they are helping us with the funding for this. And Diana Savage is with BioHearts Architects, and without their help, this wouldn't have came to fruition today. Mike Kauser is here representing the land bank as well, and is also on the Paulding County Economic Development Board. We're here today to announce that the theater building and this building here beside it, formerly called the Western Auto Store, have been acquired by the Paulding County Land Reutilization Committee, also known as the Land Bank, and they will be taken down and demolished with funding from the state of Ohio. On April 1st, they acquired the properties, and they have we have a full plan with the funding that came through the state to use that money to take these buildings down and make the lot look a lot cleaner. About 2 years ago, in my position, we were trying to get a full list of all the available properties in and around the county. And in that list and acquiring the information, we found out where this building stood. We talked to the owners, Bill and Ruth Graham, and understood what their thoughts were in either rehabilitating or taking the building down. And what we realized right away was we didn't have a lot of information on the cost of either. So we started to bring in, along with that, we watched the social media. Okay, on social media, there was an outcry for something to happen, regardless of what it was. But as we started analyzing those comments on there, it was a realization that it was about a 50-50 split of who wanted to save it, who didn't want to save it. But those that wanted to save it weren't local. They were mostly people that had lived here in the past, had been in the theater, watched movies, but they weren't here to support decisions as we move forward. So with that thought in mind, we knew that if we just came in and said, hey, we're going to tear this thing down, it's all done and over with, we realized there was probably going to be some outcry, so we needed to do some background studies. So we brought in some contractors. I can't thank Josh Sin and Riley Hart enough for coming in, hooking us up with some people. We brought in some electricians, we brought in roofers. We got an idea of what it would cost to rehabilitate this building. At the same time, on the opposite side, we brought in Jason and Jay Dangler and said, if we took this building down similar to what we did down the street, what would that cost look like? And we had an idea of both. And once we realized the cost and the rising expenses of materials and labor for the market today, rehabilitating this building was just going to be way more than we could tear it down and build a new one even. So at that point, we knew which route we needed to go. We wanted to make sure that the current owners were okay with that and would work with us, but we still didn't know for sure where we were going to get those kind of funds. And lo and behold, in January, the state offered up the $1 million to each land bank in the state to clean up buildings and rehabilitate. And with that, we knew we had all the numbers in place. We were well ahead. Maumee Valley helped us jump right on. But the last piece was, we still didn't know for sure, was this architecturally sound or not, if we even did move forward the other way and rehabilitate it. And again, I can't thank BioHearts Architects enough and Diana's team to come in and give us that sound advice of what could happen. Of all the things that we did with the contractors, we never thought of two things that they caught off right off the bat. One is, because there is asbestos and hazardous material inside, you were going to have to do some ground studies underneath the cement where we have some holes in there. And the second piece was, the steel beams that are holding up the roof on the sides there, they had deteriorated beyond a point that was salvageable or would take extreme investment to bring back to rehabilitation. So at that point, we knew we were on the right track. That was the final stamp of, yes, the way to go is to tear down. We made an agreement with the Grahams. I can't thank, again, Bill and Ruth enough. And at the time, as we were discussing that, Bob and Gretchen Nunneman said, Tim, if you're going to move forward with this, why don't you look at us donating this property and doing the same as well, because it's in pretty sad shape inside too. And so we're thankful for Bob and Gretchen for making that donation, and we're able now to take this down from the end of the yellow, or the end of the awning there, this way, take it down. And that's the plan. We just met as a land bank yesterday. Maumee Valley and our, I should have mentioned earlier, Tetra Tech, Matt Wagner, is our environmental studies guide piece of this. They too are heavily involved with us. We had our meeting yesterday. All our ducks are in a row for our submission by April 30th to get the funding to put out bids to have this taken down. As far as the timeline goes, with that bid in April 30th, I'm sure the state will have to review it, make sure it meets all the criteria that we are required to meet. They will send it back to us. We can then put it out for bid. And correct me if I'm wrong, Christina.
I think Tetra Tech will be providing a lot of assistance with the bid work.
Okay, we'll put out the bid. Once a contractor is awarded that bid, then it'll be on their timeline as to how long it takes before this is all gone and removed. Real quick, I know that we have, there is huge interest in the marquee, the sign that used to hang up here. It is in the possession of the John Paulding Historical Society. There is heavy interest right now in refurbishing that sign, either to be displayed at the Historical Society itself or somewhere of their choosing. There's been a lot of interest in helping fund that project, and there have been some, they're putting together some packages right now to see what that would cost. If there is interest in donating to that fund, we have talked with the Paulding County Area Foundation. We will set up an account with them, and you can donate right to the foundation to get that money put into an account that would help offset those costs. So if any of those funds come in, we'll see where that goes and see what happens. And hopefully the Historical Society will have something really neat to show us in the future. Other than that, I just want to thank everyone for participating and being involved with this. I think it's something that's going to promote the village. It's going to be an exciting thing to see what comes here next. You know, we all think about the Pretenders song. You paved paradise, you took down paradise to put up a parking lot. I hope that that's not the end goal here. It's going to be a temporary goal until we get it sold and figure out what comes next. But until then, we're going to take this and make it a positive for the community and the county. And then we're going to have to start looking at some other buildings around here to see what's next to improve to make it all come up together. Thank you for coming out today. We'll take questions. Oh, I want to turn it over to the land bank. Mayor White.
Oh, I just want to say thank you to Tim for all the work he's done for the land bank. It's a sad decision, but it is a decision that we feel was the right decision to make. And like Tim said, we're hoping that 2 years from now, 3 years from now, there's a nice brand new building sitting here. You know, something that the community can be proud of, and hopefully maybe something that the community itself can use, you know, in some way or another. But as the mayor of the town, I'm excited to see things like this happen. I don't want to see old buildings torn down if we can save them, but and like Tim said, in this case, and having went through it a week ago, it was something I never imagined that the theater had turned to that. And I know there's young people standing here that have many memories inside of the theater. as do I. I'm not that much younger than they are, and Dave too. So with that, that's all I.
Thank you, Greg. And to that point, there has been interest about going through and looking at it before we go. that's not going to be possible. As you can see, this is already falling out here, and it's the same and worse inside. So we feel it's not safe to take tours inside. Maumee Valley has thankfully put on their website pictures that we have taken inside, so if anyone would like to see what it looks like in there today, you can see those pictures at MVPO.
Yep, www.nbpo.org/PCLRC.
Say that 3 times.
You can email me, I'll send it to you. Yes, Bryce.
Tim, as far as a historical perspective, this was a Western Auto, that was a movie theater.
Correct.
How old are these buildings, would you guess?
I think if I read right, and this is again from social media, but they have, Walter Lang does a great job of posting some things that from around the county. 1896 or 98, I think, is when that was built. There was a fire sometime in the mid 40s, and it was shut down for a while and rehabilitated, and then since then it ran. I think the last movie they figured out now it was 1986. So we're a generation and a half removed from the last people that saw a movie here. Great question. Anyone else?
I'd like to add.
Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
The talk has been about the old movie projectors that are still up there and some of the old reels. We had a great discussion yesterday, and we want to salvage them, and we're going to try to work it into the language for when the contractor comes in, that these will be carefully disassembled and brought down to save, because I think that's a wonderful piece to save. It will add to the touch of this building. And folks, to my recollection, this was the only movie theater that we had in the whole entire county, so I felt it very vital to make sure that this happens.
Thank you, Mark. Well, thank you all for coming today and coming out and joining us. It's a wonderful day, and make the most of it. Thank you.